It's been a long while since I touched the R Characters pack by Flying Nosads. It contains both Tails Dole and Metal Knuckles, but for the sake of this re-review, I'm only going to be covering the latter. I've always felt Tails Dole was pretty much perfect in this state he originally came out in, and looking at the changelogs since I played with them, he has only had a few graphical changes to his poly barrier. I also won't be mentioning battle mod or persona support, as I haven't done so with any other character. So, without further ado, let's begin. Starting with the moveset, as this was originally my biggest grievance with Metal Knuckles, and luckily, it's the part of the character that has seen the most of the work. I personally thought that his abilities, while quite fitting, didn't combo into one another very well, and he suffered from the problem a lot of characters have where they have an unnecessary dash mode. Luckily, the few minor changes he has been given, while fairly small, have had a big impact on how he feels to play. Firstly, his jump ability, the Charge Glide, has seen a flat buff that makes it a lot more viable. Originally, the glide had a serious problem with how it took a long time to charge, and was also quite useless at lower levels, being so weak that it would either instantly drop you out of dash mode, or cause you to fall into the pit you were trying to glide over anyway. In other words, it was infinitely worse than either the hover or the standard glide. Now, the buff it has received means the Charge Glide charges faster, and is more powerful, so can actually be used for what it was intended to do. Keep your speed as you jump over large gaps. As he is a copy of Knuckles, Metal Knuckles can obviously climb on walls. When the mod first came out, he was completely unable to simply climb up walls, instead being forced to use his Jet Climb, which further contributed to him feeling like he had a disjointed moveset. As it turns out, being forced to use a boost up the wall, then needing to reattach to the wall does not make for a flowing character. Now, Jet Climb functions as a sort of spin dash, which gives the player a little more control of how you approach a situation. Climbing a wall also no longer drops you out of dash mode like it originally did, which contributed pretty heavily to it feeling completely unnecessary when it kept immediately dropping out. When originally discussing Metal Knuckles, I didn't really discuss his sprites, which is a shame, as they are really good. I will say that in terms of how he moves, has a lot of similarities to other characters, which makes me assume that some of them were in some way copied from them. I don't know enough about SRB2 spriting to say whether you can actually trace other characters, but his dash mode and basic climb sprites are very similar to Metal Sonic and Knuckles respectively. That is to be expected, considering he is a combination of the two, but I thought I might as well point it out. The design is faithful to Sonic R, but beyond that I can't really say anything I haven't already said for pretty much every other character I like the sprites of. When I originally played with the R Characters mod, I gave Tails Dole a 7 out of 10 and Metal Knuckles a 4 out of 10. I do think those results are quite different to what I think now, because while I still think Tails Dole is the superior character of the two, I think the small improvements made to Metal Knuckles can quite easily bump him up to a 7 out of 10. After this video, I said to a member of my Discord that I would cover his mod, but both their mod and their account seems to have been taken down. If that isn't resolved in the next few days, I'll either do some more Remedy content or a Mania video. I know that Frontiers would probably be the more popular game to cover at the moment, but I already know that any video I could make on the matter would only be released long after everyone else has made their opinion known. So I'll probably wait for June to finish and for IGN to release all the trailers before I cover it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and ciao.